when I sent you the name Mohamed Amoura at first, you were like, who, what it was about. And I held back a bit of info from you. And I know I drip fed it to you a little bit because I wanted you to build your own picture. Is it fair to say, just as a brief to go into this one, especially from a stats element, there's stuff to like with this one, isn't there?
100%. 100%. There's not a lot, right? I'm not going to lie to you. It's more complete here than there is others, right? But because he's not done that. He's done. See, when you go into a lower league, people will know that. When you go into unfortunately, Portugal, Swiss, Belgium, the data is really hard to get by, so it's hard to judge unless you're at a club and you can buy it. But since he's been in the better league, there is a lot to like with this guy. I think physically we're lucky because he plays in the Bundesliga. We've got some physical data as well to look at it. So I think there's when you sent it to me, I was like, okay. Well, first of all, I thought I typed in the wrong name because you just put Mo, and I was like, what's this? And then I was like, tell what you're talking about. But no, it was worth rushing this through to get it ready for tonight, definitely.
Well, without further ado then, Barts, for the stats, for the analysis, the stage is yours, my mate.
So looking at playing time, as we always do, and that is one thing you can probably get from most leagues. It's just a standard thing. Did he play? Did he not? Right?
Yeah.
So just checking, we've got equal years. Yeah, we have. So when he first went on the scene, that's just under 1,000 minutes. Then he played a full season in Switzerland. He was 31 starts, 1,000 minutes. So he probably came off a lot as a kid, which is absolutely fine. That's managing his minutes. Then 23-24, he moved clubs. So he started in the Swiss League and then went to join Union in the Belgian Pro League. So he ended up with his biggest jump, which is not that bad actually. He went from 1,000, he then clocked up to about 1,500. So that's a staged approach in his development. This season at Wolfsburg, he's made 24 starts, which is more than last year. So he's been built up nicely. Minutes per start has gone up to 82 from 62, and he's just under 2,000 minutes. So they have taken care of this kid and developed him through his minutes, which is nice to see. He's also gone from being somebody who it's a bit when you play as a kid, often you get thrown on. So that's a 0.33. So that's them losing when he comes on more often. Then he had a season where he was adding value to the team. And then he had a season where he went back the way. All right. Since he's made the move to Union and then gone to the Bundesliga, he's been a positive element to that team's performance when he's played. So that is good to see. The other stuff is going to be difficult to do a trend analysis on because we've only got the League of Germany to really go anything on. Yeah. But if we do that, which I think we should, he's expected assists for a kid. I still a kid, really. 0.14 per 90, 0.28, 0.21 sort of thing for his others. He's got progressive passes of about 1 a game. Key passes just over 1 a game. So not too bad. If we look at combining those into what he does, so expect XG and expected assists 0.4, 0.48, depending on what you want to look at, putting in threat or actual assist. That's just below our levels, to be fair. We look at 0.66, right? 0.60. Yeah. He's in at 0.5. I seem to remember a couple of the lads we were looking at the Premier League, Samayo and Kuna weren't too far off that level. Keith Gittins as well was in around the 0.5. So, it's one season. I can't tell you a trend because it's not there. But from that season, from those minutes, there is a lot. There's some science there that's promising, to be honest with you. They would have far more data than me on that, but that's what they get paid for, to be frank. And there does seem to be something there. His pass completion has improved over the games as well. So there's some things to like. If we get into our usual place, though, right, so this guy, we're going to profile him as a forward. Okay, technically. He has 2 profiles, which we know the club like. We like it's a Jota type move or it's a Cody type move, right? Yeah, they both play the wings and up front. We're going to look at him
wing
as a
striker.
forward.
Yeah.
Forwards. Now, I mean, as we just looked at Delap and said, that guy doesn't really defend the way we want, this guy might be doing too much. I mean, we've got no aerials, okay. Clearances, probably a little bit higher for us, but blocks, interceptions, and tackles, 98th, 93rd, and 84th percentile. Sounds like he's doing exactly what we want. So, yeah, I'm just saying, this is looking. I like this for defence. It shows you that he has an understanding of what he needs to do. This is just a forward stab as well, so it's literally when he's played up front, blocking passing lanes, making interceptions. The tackles is probably a little bit higher for us, but you shouldn't need to commit. You should do it for the other ways. But the other two methods are not 90th percentile plus. So that's really good start for us in terms of what we ask our forwards to do. Okay. And in between the boxes, so when he has to drop in, help out, or when we play on the break from a corner or something, progressive passes received, that's good, stays high, receives the ball successfully, 96th percentile. 9 a game. 9 a game you receive.
Yeah.
Touches in the penalty box, still be a little bit low, all right. Maybe him and Delap need to go look at how forwards actually play up front, maybe, I'm not sure, but 46th percentile is a little bit low. Take-ons and carries, 90th and 86th percentile respectively. That's really good. So he carries the ball 93rd, so he's taking it from deep and moving it up 20% closer to the goal. Really good. Passes. He's also making progressive passes. The lad did carry it, to be fair to him, did really do a lot with it. This lad is getting it, making a pass. He's got 70% pass rate, which is in and around what our forwards typically do on a game. We would like it to be higher, but that's what it is. But then attempted, he's 91st percent of passes attempted. Brilliant. So he's actually taken that pass on. All right. So we can work on that accuracy a little bit. And again, that will be quality of player he's playing with, situation, is he being asked to play risky passes, those kind of things. All right. What's he doing in the box though? So non-penalty goals, okay, that's a little bit low. I think you said he played 50-50 of his games out wide.
Yeah, two thirds up top and a third on the left wing. Right. So switching, yeah.
The switching. So yeah, if you're going to buy 9, you kind of want it to be a little bit higher, to be honest with you. Shots, that's a little bit low, 2.6. We want to be over that 3 mark. Then 3.5 would be ideal. Assists, brilliant. 97% are great. He's part of a unit, phenomenal. So shot creating actions, 77th. Now a lot of that, 77 percentiles, that's 2.8 a game. A lot of that we then to the assist he create. So this is good. All right. If we look at comparing him with Jota, normally when we do these, right, with a name that you don't really know,
miles away.
They're miles away, right? I mean, we've been there, we've gone, whoa, what's going on there? But this is actually Jota's the red, just for people who can't see on the screen. And Jota is ahead of him for non-penalty XG, fair enough. And shot correct actions just. And he's also non-penalty goals, and so he's ahead of that. But other than that, I don't know about you, but it looks fairly close. That's within a percentile of most of them. And actually, defensively, Amoura actually outperforms him. So, and he's receiving more passes, he's got more touches, he's got more take-ons, and he's got passes attempted. Yes, Jota has had a bad year, but still a good sign, I would suggest. If we look at, I've just seen if I had Nunes. Well, if you were saying that he's going to come in for Nunes and he's going to go, then again, it probably outperforms Nunes, for being honest. So, yeah, there is a lot to like on that. I did run a quick little viz on him to try and have a look. He's playing up front in these games, which is where you want him to play. He's also quite well linked. Yeah, it's a bit rather than the lap. Then we are well linked here. They do build slightly differently, so our forwards would be up, our wingers would be up here, and the 9 would be in here. So this would be a different change, definitely in the way they build. But he seems to have the percentiles to say that he could adapt to that. He's involved in play. Yeah, that's pretty. But second up, particularly, he's pass or a touch or both every minute. He's involved in chains up to 10, and unlike the lap, He's also got progressive passes involved in those in all three phases, in most phases of the game, and left half space, right half space, and zone 14. Not the volume we'd want, but still, he's involved. If you look at him in terms of threat, so what did he do off the ball? So he defended 71% of the threat, approached him from the forward. Not bad. And then what did he do? So in terms of attacking, threat is coming from deep from them. So potentially that's probably an area he needs to work on. But then you can level that out players. Like Jota and Nunes don't create a lot of threat. All right. They rely on our building, our development through the left and the right. So I think it's a little bit unfair to maybe call him out on that. Off the ball, though, he is involved in a fair amount of defensive actions, to be fair to you, but then there's not a large volume from the team in this game. So XG wasn't involved in a lot in this game, took his shots dead central. So yeah, overall, I think there is a lot to like in this game for him. Pass success in this game is only 80%. So yeah. I can see for a kid that profiles like that could be a smart bit of business, to be honest with you, if the price is right.
This is the time when I give you the other half of the picture, and it's probably important to do this, Bart, because the natural thing which you said there, and I get, is someone's going to quote sample size, and it's not too big. We understand that one year in Wolfsburg, so you can put that in that column. 100% agree. Liverpool, apparently, for our info, been watching this guy, and he only happened to score a hat-trick last night for Algeria. So it's a good time to sort of keep yourself in the news or in their thoughts, recency bias and all that. 18 goal contributions in the Bundesliga, 10 goals, 8 assists. The headline figures are decent. For those who can't see it on the screen as well, his speed is about 35.6. Now, as Bart's has used the phrase before, that is rapid. 36 is like top level sprinter. That's what we're talking. So this guy is nippy at best, fast. There's no two ways about it. He can play striker. He can play left wing. But the other bit of detail that we've got around Amoura, because he's on loan from Union SG, as you said, a big data club, a big data club. That's their structure and their style. He's on loan to Wolfsburg. Now, Wolfsburg have apparently an option for about 22 million euros. That's the talk. And he has 2 years left to go on his Union SG contract from this summer. So he's in that 2-year period. The other thing I wanted to give you, Bart, is from analysis, and we've done a bit of digging, that just data you can get as well. Right-footed, plays on the left wing and up front quite a bit, but 30% of his finishes, or around 30%, are with his left foot. And he's even got a few headed finishes, as you can see on the, if you want to look people on the Bundesliga website, he's got a few headed goals as well. That stacking up, Bart, with a price point suggested of 25 million quid if Liverpool wanted to do it, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking this is a very early Edwards signing. Like this is a lot of deep data dive. This is a lot of Ian Graham and Edwards. Well, Ian Graham used to do the data analysis and give it to Edwards. Edwards would go and look at the video and confirm that.
Yeah.
This looks exactly like that playbook. Like you would, the data clearly they've got is far superior to what we can get. But even the data we've got is looking like there's some really promising elements there for him being that young. Yes, sample size is small, but they would have a larger sample size because they will have the other data. So this looks like young, is in that price bracket he likes. He's playing internationally. The only annoying thing is that's there's international tournaments will come into play with where he's playing.
Yeah.
Anyway, bye. He's performing well. He's moved from one league to another and performed as he's gone through. So it's not stagnated, if you like. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, because if you go up a level, sometimes a player has got that's my level, and I feel right. So he's clearly doing well. The bully data there is, I mean, physically, that's a quick player. I mean, I'm not knocking that about, but he doesn't have a life distance, so I'm not going to lie to you. So that's 240k in 24 stars. So yeah, it's okay, but it's not a huge distance, should we say? It tends to run 16.5, which is up there with some of the ones we have seen. So yeah, it takes penalties, 100% record in that. They've got aerial duels 118. They don't really put how many he's competed with, but I think there's a lot to like in that, and it does look like a very good data signing, a bit like the Greek lad we looked at.
Yeah, it's one of those, and people will look and say, I don't know. People will say he's high because I think he's 5'6", 5'7", if you read it there. So that will maybe come into the mix as well. Do you reckon?
But he's a forward. Like, Jota's not tall. Mo's not tall. I mean, they're not short, please. They're not my height, but they're not tall. I think your midfielders and your centre halves and the rest of it, that's important to be high. All you would need to do is, because some of our forwards come in and make the shields in our zone of defending, you just have to make sure that you have another one that can come and do that. So and that's what we do. And when Jota's playing, he's not back defending. It's always put in a role that doesn't need the height. You know what I mean? So we always move that around. So it's something to consider. But I don't think they wouldn't sign him for his height.
So there you go, ladies and gents. And we've got to build this because everyone wants sexy names. And I get the Isaac, I get the Alvarez leagues. I completely get those. We all want those players at Anfield. No one's pretending any different if we can get them. But if we're going to bring back this team headed up by Michael Edwards, smart database signings are also what you want to see. You've got to make the next generation, as it were. So Mohamed Amoura, keep him on your list.